The Brexit vote is also creating some major bargains for international travelers this summer. The exchange rate for the British pound against the U.S. dollar plunged to its lowest level in about 30 years. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg is here to show us how to get the best deals. Peter, thank you so much for joining us. And I took a look this morning.
Yeah.
You can go from New York City to Madrid for about $720 in September, but in October you can go to Paris for $461.
Well, it's unlikely to think about it, but at this time of the year, you're not supposed to find bargains.
No.
When this happened, when the vote happened, the shares in airline stocks took a tumble. The holding company for British Airways, IAG, dropped 30%. It's still down 30% even this morning. So that means excess capacity. And then you add the dollar currency exchange, it's a double whammy. It's a benefit for us. We could become a buyer's market.
Let's go.
Okay.
How soon do we need to do this, though?
Well, it's a very fluid situation, but you need to do it in the next 2 weeks. That doesn't mean it's going to expire in the next 2 weeks, but these deals are coming out almost daily now, so book it now for even later in the year.
If you've already booked some travel, how do you take advantage of some of these rates that are happening right now?
Well, remember, it's not just airline fares, it's local goods and services, the cost of a cab ride, the cost of a meal. I mean, if you go back and look in 2008, if you had an airline ticket, you had a modest dinner, you had the ticket into town, you had your hotel fare, it was about 217 pounds in London just for that, not the airline ticket, but everything else. That worked out to about $434 at those exchange rates. Today, it's $293. So it's a substantial discount.
How do you want to pay once you're over there? Do you want to pay with cash, credit?
Well, cash is always king, but the point is, if you're going to use a credit card, watch out for the dreaded foreign transaction fees.
Right.
They will get a credit card that doesn't have that. And then they always give you the option of whether you want to pay in dollars or pounds, pay in dollars. Give you an example of another fare that's amazing. It's being announced today. TAP, the airline of Portugal, they will fly you from New York to Lisbon. They'll give you a 3-night stopover. You pay for the hotel, but it's a free stopover. And then you go back to the airport, and they'll fly you up to 45 different European destinations for free. Now, they're not the only airlines that are doing stopovers. Iceland Air is doing it. Turkish Air is doing it. This is a great deal.
But do I want to pay? I'm sorry. Do I want to exchange that money before I leave, though? So, like,
absolutely not.
No.
No.
So when I get there.
No, you do it when you get there, and you do it. You can use your ATM card if you don't have an ATM that charges you a huge fee to use a foreign terminal. Because you're getting the day of exchange rate offered to their own citizens. You're not paying commission. That's outrageous. And you're not paying an exchange fee when you get it back.
We're talking a lot about flights and travel. How about cruises, that type of thing?
Well, remember, the cruise lines have excess capacity now, too, because not because of us, but because of all the Europeans who are canceling their trips because they can't afford it based on the exchange rate. So a lot of excess capacity there. But remember, don't just go online. Make the phone call, because this is changing too rapidly to always be displayed on the web.
What's that? Phone call?
Well,
talk to a human being.
You
What a
always
concept.
talk about this, but
Yes.
it's a great point. Picking up the phone sometimes and talking to somebody.
Right. Research on the web, then make the phone call. Trust but verify. Goes back to Gorbachev and Reagan. I mean, that's what you got to do.
Will there be any discounts here in the United States?
Yes, because remember, there's excess capacity on the seats coming here, meaning all those foreign flights are being discounted now because what would have been their return flights are emptier. So now it's an even better time to do your frequent flyer miles. At a time of the year when it would normally be impossible to redeem miles, now they're starting to open up because there are that many empty seats. So guess again, go on the phone.
Thank you for your Cold War lessons here. Appreciate it.
Same principle applies.
Absolutely, for sure.